Welcome to the Four Rooms podcast, where we explore the four rooms of entrepreneurship: health, wealth, scale, and relationships. Each episode is dedicated to opening new doors and uncovering insights that empower you to design your entrepreneurial journey to be both lucrative and fulfilling. And now, your hosts, Amber Spears and Brett Kaufman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Four Rooms podcast. I'm your host, Brett Kaufman. I'm here with Michael Bernoff. Thank you for coming.
I'm thrilled to be here, Brett.
Yeah. We heard you had a little bit of a snafu coming down here with some traffic.
How do you spell snafu?
Geez, don't even ask me that. That's why I'm in this role, not doing spelling.
That's been funny. It's almost like a setup there. I have no idea. Less of that or more of a lot of people want to live here and they move to Arizona. And this time of year, it's gorgeous and beautiful. So got to take in consideration there's 30% more people here this time of year. So I don't travel that far. So.
I get that. As a Miamian, same thing. Everyone down here during this time, but then it'd come like, what, May? And
gone. Disappeared, like gone. Like it's one day you're driving down the street and it's like, oh, when it's people, next day, like, where are they?
Right.
And they're starting to move more because people leaving California and everything, and they're coming to Scottsdale. It's one town over. But I would tell you, Scottsdale's like Miami in that way.
You think so?
People are moving here like you wouldn't believe. The housing, it's insane.
Have you seen a big influx since the fires of people coming?
Well, what I realized about that is my wife told me, we were at the skating rink and she said one of her friends is a realtor and said that this lady is renting her house. It used to be like $5,000 a month, like $8,000, $10,000 people are paying to rent houses out here because they came over, because it's so easy, similar climate, except for the summer, just to go one state over. It's got the Orange County vibe, Scottsdale. So like that whole Malibu group, we picked up a lot, plus enrollment at schools. So enrollment in schools is up, in the prep schools is up like 15% in the last 90 days because people have nowhere to go to school right now.
And you've also been here for a while now, right?
30 years.
Yeah. So how have you seen a change in the 30 years you've been here?
Massively. I mean, just the build up, everything. It's a whole different place. Like you used to be able to, let's go to Arizona. It's inexpensive. It's great in the middle of the desert. It is New York prices. It is New York prices on houses. I talked to a friend the other day in Park City. They said our kids I don't know how they're ever going to buy anything. They may have to live in a different town. They're either going to live with us, make a lot of money, which my kids are definitely going to make a lot of money because it's part of a birthright. We're deciding that for them. If not, they can't. I'm just kidding. But the point is either that or, so it's grown a lot. Population's massive and it's grown a lot. I like it. I like it. It doesn't have the small town feel anymore. It is not small town Arizona. At least Scottsdale, Tempe, Phoenix, Paradise Valley. It is big and busy and we have millions and millions of people.
So I moved down to Miami in 2020. And it felt like I was helping to rebuild a city in part two because all these entrepreneurs, all these people came down there at the same time. And the networking was phenomenal because everyone wanted to make friends.
Yep.
Was Scottsdale similar?
Massive. It was just everybody was connected. Now we don't know our neighbors. It's interesting. Like, so right now it doesn't have that. There's certain parts of that. But the interesting thing about Arizona, which most people don't realize, at least in the place that I live, there's a lot of older folks that have been here a while.
Yeah.
A lot of people moved from other places when the market was less. So imagine you were from Chicago. This is like a history of real estate right now. This is my theory, at least what happens. There's two large groups of people. People that moved here from New York, New Jersey, where I'm from, high ticket markets. They were able to buy lots of acreage, big old house, sold their place in Chicago for $600,000 back in the day, which was a lot of money 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Got a $200,000 house, $400,000 in the bank. They're wealthy now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? They invested the money. There's that group of people that are now older that live here. And then we got all the young little college kids because we have 3 enormous universities, almost 100,000 kids per university. So we've got Arizona State, Northern Arizona, University of Arizona, and GCU, which is Grand Canyon University, all of them like millions of young people. So we got all these young people and then these older folks. And it's an interesting dynamic. It's a very interesting town right now.
Yeah, it seems like a great place to be at. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be a West Coast person, but nice to know there's a huge entrepreneur community down here so I can come visit.
We're all here.
Well, because we first met in Vegas at one of our good friends, Eric, when they were doing their events.
Yes.
And we were in the car. I remember, I think we either were driving to a mansion for a hangout day, or maybe it was back from there. And you were starting to break down what you do in communication.
Yes.
For those,
was it the art gallery we were at? Was the art gallery true?
No, that was the same event, but there was a different day because I remember being in the car in the daytime with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what I love, because my background is in communication, but probably slightly different than how you got in. So for those who have no idea who you are, I'd love for them to hear about what you do.
I'm obsessed with communication. So if you want to talk about communication, I light up. I love it. I love what makes people do what they do. So I never enjoyed the classes I took in school. I never enjoyed them at all. Like they were never something that I wanted to be involved in. So I always wish there was like another class. I love talking. I always get in trouble for talking. And that's when I see kids like in the locker room, young kids I play hockey with, I always tell the parents, you're a good talker. Don't stop talking because you are so freaking good at it. I get paid a lot of money to talk. So my background is language and communication. What makes people do the things they do based on language? All words affect the biochemistry of another person's mind. So like we're sitting here talking right now. There are big businesses, big corporations right now in Silicon Valley that are breaking down almost AI, knowing that when this word gets said, this person does blank. We figured out when this word is said, this chemical goes off in somebody's mind, and then this person does blank. So figuring out almost the biochemistry set of what makes a human being do what they do, how we communicate with ourselves changes the way that we respond to ourselves. And on top of that, how a human being communicates with others is how they get responded with. So most of us don't have to get better at sales and business. We need to get better at our communication, which changes our relationships. And when people relate differently with you, they buy from you. They work harder for you. They relate better with you. They're more intimate with you. Your kids, it's different. So life is about response. It's not about saying it great. It's about the response.
Okay.
I just threw out like, boom, fireworks set.
I have to stretch because this is like literally also my passion, because I've had several instances where communication played a very important role in my life. And one of which was just came back from living abroad in Tel Aviv.
Okay.
I was there for a year. And that was the first time I battled depression. And I got to the point
in Tel Aviv or when you came up?
Upon coming back, it was a huge culture shock. This was my sophomore year in college, spent in Tel Aviv.
Nice.
Had an amazing, life-changing year.
Was it great out there? The food's fantastic.
Food's fantastic. People are fantastic.
Yeah.
I rescued a dog when living over there.
Well, they had dogs over there. Okay.
They did. She was like
What's dog?
She basically, she was so small. She was all dark fur puppy. Brought her home to the States, which was such a pain in the ass, but story for a different day. The problem is though, she barks in Hebrew, so it's a little bit hard to understand her, but we're working on that one. And you
came back depressed?
Yeah, I came back depressed because it was such a different culture shock. And upon coming back, part of the depression led me to actually losing my ability to speak for a while. And so I would walk around with a notebook and write down what I was trying to say, show it to people, and I had to retrain myself how to actually talk.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I know it's you're hosting, but I got to ask this.
Let's break it down.
So hold on. You literally stopped speaking?
Yeah. So
completely?
I could.
If I would have stabbed you in the foot, would you have screamed?
I could mumble words. So yes, I would scream. But the idea
is you got some rare thing where you went over there, came back, and stopped speaking.
Yeah, I just like something in my brain. That was the first time I ever experienced something like that.
I've been around transformational work and therapy for 30 years. I've never heard this before. This is great.
Yeah.
Not great that it happened. Great that it's something new.
Great that we're here now for a minute.
Okay.
But I remember like using the notebook to like write down what I was trying to say, to convey, because like I couldn't connect what I wanted to say in here to the words coming out, but I knew I could start to write it. So I had to relearn how sentences worked, what I was trying to actually say.
It's probably a gift. You probably started to respect your words a little different. It's almost like looking at your bank account. If your parents actually, like we use credit cards these days, but imagine having to take the cash out, break down the quarters, the pennies, and then realizing I make $20 an hour as a kid or $10 an hour. We were kids. You basically had to look at every word that you said.
Because it was difficult to even get it out.
Your handwriting get better?
I would hope so. I think it did. But I remember that was like such like a pivotal moment for me diving so deep into communication, because I was like, I need, like you said, each word is so important.
Wow. I never heard that before. And they are. It's like there is a lot of studies that are done, like how we label and file things based on what words we use. Like one of the examples that I give of this is, let's use Netflix as an example. They love the word love. Yeah. And the reason I say that is they want you to love Netflix. They want you to love a show. And love in the Bible, outside of God, love is probably the most powerful word, I would say, in any book, Quran, Bible, Torah, Zohar, whatever it is you read.
Yeah.
Love is what we're all after. But if I take love and I attach love to Starbucks, I love podcasts, what a ridiculous way to put it. Why would you put that on? Save that for your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your kids.
Yeah.
Why would you attach it to ice cream? So wonder why we can't stop eating it. Because we love it. So we've programmed our brain that is innate in us. So there are certain words that we have that we calibrate and we think, oh, what's the big deal? It's a huge deal. So people can't stop eating something because they love it or I have to have it versus it's yummy. And it's interesting how if you actually looked at the words you said, a lot of us are using potentially the wrong word at the wrong time or the right word at the right time.
I found that my crutch word is interesting, even though I may not convey that the thing I'm actually trying to mean is that information is interesting to me. but I feel like it's like my catch-all. So now when you're saying that, I'm trying to think like where else is like I'm using holdover words, crutch words.
Interesting leads to typically left brain, right brain. I'm not into that. It's just a thinker. And when you're in thinking mode, it gives you a chance to pause. So interesting is a procrastination word. And whenever you say interesting, you don't mean anything. It's a pause. It's like, what do you want for dinner? Food. It's not a real answer. So interesting allows you to not really answer. So it's when someone says, how does that sound? Yeah, it's interesting. There's no commitment. It's safe. It's a filler word. In sales or speaking, it would be no different than saying it's a horse. It's something to sit on. But there's nothing against the word, but if you're using it all the time, it's probably not driving you in a direction.
So when people come to work with you, it's like, hey, I need help for more on my keynote. I want to be able to work with my team better. Like what's the most effective way for people to work with you?
So we do a lot of things. So I've been at this a long time.
Yeah.
I started my business when people were using fax machines. I mean, I'm 47 as we're recording this right now. I've been doing this since 22 years old. This is all I've ever done. So I say that to say we've been obsessed for 24 years or so. I can't even do the math on it. It's been a while, 25 years. We've been obsessed with working with a very particular group of people. It's high functioning, driven people that want more. And I don't really work well with the rest. It's like, if you can't make a decision and you don't know what you want, well, what should I do when I grow up? Go see a counselor, go see a therapist. If you want to talk about mommy and daddy, that's you. But if you're already in like motion, you're driven. We have been obsessed with figuring out how the highest functioning people do the things they do, what their challenges are, how to work with them, how to push them, because high functioning people are stubborn. High functioning people have a lot of pain tolerance. Like a lot of people you and I work with, they can put up with large amounts of money going out for marketing, large amounts of the wrong staff. Almost everyone we work with the high functioning has one or two people in their life that don't belong there. So we work with those people. We do coaching and events, and really it's getting people to coach themselves into the actions they need. So when people hire us, I have like at any given moment, I have someone that I'm helping write a presentation where they need to speak to 10,000 people next week. I have a client who's one of the largest influencers in the world calling me because they can't get an idea of a girlfriend out of their head. I have people that come to me going, Michael, I have an entire sales group. We are killing it. Can you help us with how to frame these conversations differently? We work with people that it would give them a major win financially, socially, economically, health-wise, relationship, if their communication changed. So I don't do marriage counseling. Yet, if somebody says to me, hey, Michael, is there something I'm doing that I could respond or communicate differently with my spouse? I'll work with that person, but I don't sit there and do marriage counseling. So I do one-on-one work. I'm not a cheap date, but we've got events and seminars that we do where we show people in real time what communication actually looks like and how their words impacts them, their clients, their friends, their families, the people around them. So they go back home and they're like, whoa, I saw that girl at that event, and when she responded to that, that's just like this client over here. Or, whoa, do you see how that guy responded to his wife? That's like me working with my employees. So we do real-time communication. It's no theory. It's no 7 ways to be a better communicator, none of that crap. It's really about real time, getting the transformation, getting the change.
So how's that process work though? So I come in, do I say, hey, here's my conversation with my sales team, and then we role play through it?
No, we don't do that. Oh, no, we don't do that. We work with people that are looking for that class they never got in school. I'm looking at people that want to learn. I own an institute, North Scottsdale, bought what used to be a temple. I bought a building. We have events. We do them there and at locations. We work with people that say, I want to be good at this. Being better with people and being better with my messaging matters to me.
Yeah.
And I want to study this, and I want to be good at this, and I want to master it. Like I want influence in my life, influence in sales, influence over my behaviors. I want that. And that's how it starts. So you'd start off and we'd figure out where you need to begin. Is it procrastination? Is it sales? Is it that you want to learn voodoo, hypnotic language patterns? We find out what your needs are and we put you into a program.
Okay. I love that. Something that's helped me recently over the summer, I started taking improv classes.
I recommend it.
I love it. And I just, last Tuesday, I finished graduating from level 5. We have one more level and then we can audition for the cast. Level 5.
Yeah.
And that's been the greatest thing that I found for my communication, because like I get a word of inspiration and then like I'm on stage with you. We don't get to rehearse, but yeah, we need to be able to communicate telepathically. I need to be able to read your body language. And yet we need to entertain a crowd of like hundreds of people that are watching. And that's such a gift.
Everyone needs to know how to do that.
Yeah.
And my youngest daughter, she does interpretive for figure skating. And one of her best things, they're actually getting rid of it. This is so sad.
Why?
She will hear a song and there'll be 10 girls out there. They hear it one time and then 2 more times. Then everyone's got to get off the ice, go in a room, and you don't hear it again. You had no idea what the song was. It could be freaking Big Bird. It could be Dolly Parton song. It could be Rage Against the Machine. You're going to get a song. You've got to come out for a minute and perform that 3 minutes later or 9 minutes later. She's like the best at it, has won for a year and a half. They're getting rid of that at all competitions. You want to know why?
Why?
It's too freaking hard for people. Judges don't want to hear the same song over and over again, and people are scared of it.
Oh, boo-hoo.
So we are a society of people that are scared of we want structure and everything to be normal.
Yeah.
Learning that skill, improv, being able to think quick on your feet is one of the most powerful skills. And that's one of the biggest things we teach people, how to not be salespeople, how to become influential. How do I influence myself and others? And that's what you're doing with improv.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I hope your daughter that's great that she's so good at that. Hope she finds another outlet for it.
They're still going to have it. They're just getting rid of it a lot of competition. She's great at the other skating too. I'm saying that one thing, why it's interesting I bring it up is they're removing that. And I couldn't figure out why. They removed it nationally because they're like, well, not enough people want it. No, people are scared of it. We shouldn't be scared of that.
No.
You want to get good in life? Dude, sell me this.
We were just talking about the water.
Water. Yeah. Make sure you know it's water. I'm not drinking crazy energy drinks. My buddy's company.
If you're looking to get even more from the Four Rooms podcast, you don't want to miss our exclusive newsletter. This is your personal invitation to join a community of like-minded entrepreneurs who are all about balancing health, wealth, scale, and relationships. Each week, we're going to bring you additional insights, tips, early announcements, and other information that we just can't fit into this podcast episode. Plus, it's a great way to keep the conversation going and ensure you never miss a beat in your entrepreneurial journey. It's easy to subscribe. Just visit fourroomsmastermind.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, and enter your email. That's fourroomsmastermind.com, and just enter your email. We promise to keep things light, keep your inbox interesting, informative, and fun. Join the Four Rooms community today, and let's grow together.
So I want for someone, again, that's like so new to you, that's just listening, and they're like, okay,
what does he do?
What does he do? I know I need help with the communication side. What's like a process of working with you look like? What are the steps we
They
go
typically
through?
will either find me at an event or reach out.
Okay.
And then within a series of questions, we just find out what they're working on, what their challenge is. And again, you have to be high functioning. You have to run an established business. You have to be doing something, or you're a mom that's driven. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to do the work. And then we've got a process. We've got a process we start off with. We've had a program for 20-something years called Action. It rewires the mind, how the mind works. So basically it's an auditory program. We started in the teleconference days. Now, some people go, why did you do that? I have probably a $500,000 Zoom studio in my office, $500,000. And I don't use it for this because learning how to listen and use your inner voice is where we all need to begin. So we start at focus, how words trigger your mind, no different than leaving Tel Aviv and learning how to use your words again.
Yeah.
Then we get you into realizing what you do inside your comfort zone and what it actually is. Then we figure out very, very simply the minutest little thing that we need to work on. From there, we then bring you into other events where you see it work with other people. So that's where we start with many people. If you've done a lot of personal development before, maybe we don't have to start there.
Yeah.
But that's where we start. We do not work with impatient people. Even though our people are impatient, we got to slow down and you've got to pick up skills you didn't have prior. So as soon as you work with us, we have a at-home class or an event or a seminar perfect for everybody.
Do you have like a favorite one, some of your favorite, I hate the word case study, but like people you love working with as examples?
I've worked with probably 30,000 people personally, like either an event, like it's a lot. So give me an industry and I'll pick a person.
Let's do entrepreneurship. We can do specifically like e-com owners, because I know a lot of our listeners are that.
Okay. Give me a challenge you think they might have and I'll pick a person.
They're either looking to raise money or they're more the face of the brand. Let's say like your friends coming as an example, trying to get more awareness.
Okay. So one of my favorite things to do with people is to get people to realize how easy it is to explain what they do by learning how to get someone to respond to them and get their attention. So I could go after case studies all day long, but my favorite thing to teach people is whenever you're communicating with somebody, they have an idea of how that meeting's about to go. The second a human being learns, I've taught this 1,000 times, to walk into a room, and I taught this to a real estate. This one guy's one of the most highest functioning human beings that I know. He runs $1 billion worth of real estate. And I'll just say Brandon is his name. Super high functioning. Later, if I can promote him, I can. I want to get his approval on this. He does exactly what I tell him to do. So when he goes into a meeting, the first thing he does, if he wants to raise money for his fund, he lets people know, if all you're looking to do is get involved with the fund, I recommend you go to Google, because that's not what we do here. And the second he does that, you've just discounted the people, and you see your face right there. You're not like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And then Brandon, from this day, I taught him this 3 years ago. And he still does it in every meeting. And he says, that is not what we do here. What we do with the ABC company is very, very simple. We are a small family-based business that works directly with you and your company. And if all you want is real estate, that's not what we do. We're part real estate, part therapist, because we've got to read your mind, part mind reader, because we got to know what's going on in the market. And we're part legal team. And the reason why is we got to protect you. So if all you want is real estate, that's easy. But that's not exactly what we do here. So he does that and he explains this at a different level. So when you remove somebody, this from a sales perspective and from a pitch perspective, when you remove the thought that they had, you open up room for a new thought. And then you make certain to insert exactly what they needed you to be.
Yeah.
Because if you buy a house and somebody tells you that if all you want is a real estate agent, that's not what we do here. We also want to learn how to be a mind reader for you because we need to know the house that you're going to want 5 years from now.
Yeah.
That's how we come in. Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad. No, every real estate is going to do that.
Yeah.
You have just said the unspoken. And that's just one of the pieces. And then the other stuff is we work with people all the time. I mean, the majority of them have a big idea in their head. They're about to go pitch people for money. And the first thing we do is I ask them, okay, great. So how do you picture the group? And they always picture them big and bold, this big scary thing. And I say, you're probably going to be standing and they're going to be sitting. So you've got to get that in your mind. And the second they realize that, you're in control if you're standing. You can get out of the room quicker. You're in the power position. They're looking up at you.
Oh. And
the second you get people to realize that, the smirk happens on their face, like yours right now, smirk. And the biochemistry changes. And you went from an excitement of dopamine and maybe a cortisol fear, you went to, okay, I'm in control. And teaching people to realize how in control they are, that's half the power.
It's amazing.
I could go into like all kinds of case studies, people I work with. I typically don't talk with my personal clients, but we've helped everyone from after the shooting in Columbine, the second one, we went up there and helped the kids. I had a couple clients that unfortunately they were in the school and we've had to help them from a language standpoint when they say that was the worst day of my life. You're never going to unlive it because you use that language. No different than a marriage. You ever heard anybody say my wedding was my favorite day of my life? You never heard anybody say that? My wedding was the best day of my life?
No, I haven't been to that many good weddings. So
have you ever heard a person that got married say my wedding was amazing, it was a great day, it was the best day?
Yes, I've heard that.
Most women say the wedding was the best day of their life.
Okay.
That is the stupidest thing to say.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Because after that, it's all downhill.
What the hell are you going to do with your life?
Yeah.
You got to have an open bar every day?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So that's part of it.
Okay. So one of the things I love, you've been doing this for 25 years.
Yep.
What are you doing like every day to continue to level up your skills?
Well, the thing is, when you work with people, you find new things. The world's changed dramatically. Like what used to matter, a lot of times doesn't. The world is changing every day.
Yeah.
So as long as you're talking with people, I go to events, I get around people, even like this. I mean, this is the best thing. Forums, this is amazing. Getting around other people that are having other interactions at a high level, learning and being around my community, even if not everybody is a student here, they're the people I like to talk to. So going to lunch, going to dinner, hanging out, networking, being in this environment is probably one of the most important things I do. I have to make certain to do it. I got to push myself.
Yeah.
But to get around more of the people that I should be working with is one of the biggest things. And then studying and really doing new things. I'm always with a pen and paper out, like writing ideas, coming up with concepts, watching, studying, and I've got a lens for it.
Yeah. So you're in a room like this. You're at 4 rooms.
Yep.
For those that don't know what this environment's like, can you describe it for them?
I mean, this is a playground. I mean, it's a playground of entrepreneurs. It's some of the biggest thinkers in the world. It's people that are doing major things. And what's cool about it is each person probably has a business that touches indirectly somewhere between 100 to 100,000 to 1 million people. So their contacts are amazing, but also their context is amazing, which means they understand things and they've studied things that I haven't studied. So I saw Eric on the way in, which is great. He works on big brands. He works on big branding stuff. He knows what the big guys are doing in the brand space. I'll run into somebody, saw David on stage. I know David is working. He's doing some international stuff. He's working with people, does big events. I get to find out what's going on in the event space. There's people. So what's fascinating about coming to something like this is the second a human being leaves their current area of like their house, I get out of my house, I drive down here, my gut biochemistry shifts.
Yeah.
I could blindfold myself, put earplugs in, I'll have new thoughts because I'm in a different location. That would be if the event was horrible. Now, it just so happens all the words, all the visuals are amazing here. So we're taking in great stuff. So it's the ability to get around the people you needed to get around, to have the conversations you need to have, to pick up 3 or 4 things and let's say you forget 2 of them. One of them's got a chance to make a major difference.
And that's why we're so lucky that you're here. Because like the people you're like that you'll be able to impact while you're here, as well as like the people you'll be able to network with, you're such a great value add, and we're very grateful you're in the room.
Well, I'm grateful to be here too, because I love this. Like my big mission is I love working with like mission-based entrepreneurs that actually have tribes to talk to.
Yeah.
So each of the people in the rooms that we get a chance to talk to today all have people on their team and customers that if I teach something, it can go out.
Yeah.
And that's what's really cool.
One thing I'm really interested in is with the rise of AI, and
Yep.
I feel like people are going to be less face-to-face now. How do you see communication changing, especially with the work that you do?
Okay. So I thought that too. And then I was like, I don't say anti-AI, but I was one of these people like, oh my gosh, the devil, Terminator, grew up with that stuff. And then I realized I think AI is going to drive people to come together even more. I think it's going to be two groups of people. There's one group that's going to love it. And I think the other group is going to be like, what's the movie Defiance? They're going to go live in the woods.
Yeah.
Because if you realize they said in the movie, remember Defiance?
Yeah.
The movie, he said, the one thing we need is community. Human beings need oxytocin more than anything else. You will never get oxytocin from AI. You'll get a fake drip, like fake testosterone, but you're not going to get the real thing. You know where you get the real thing from? Hanging out with the dudes.
Yeah.
Doing guy things, wrestling, doing stuff. That's where it comes from. Your body creates it. I'm not a doctor. I can't guarantee that, but we need oxytocin, which is connection. So I believe it's going to be two groups. I believe AI is going to allow us to spend our life differently so we can have more time to spend better quality. So I think it's going to thin it out. I think we're going to have really great relationships, and we're going to thin out the ones we don't need to have.
So then do you think, so people are going to gravitate more towards groups, the ones that are searching for it, which is going to be important?
There's a group that's going to love AI, and there's a group that's going to go the other direction.
Yeah.
And I'm not that I'm going to fight it. I'm just going to say, like, I love it. I think it's great. I don't think it's very powerful. It's no different than finding out the pixels back in the day that we used to do. Remember pixel websites and get people to go a certain direction. It's got a massive appeal. Yet from a socialization standpoint, we are going to have another challenge there. If people think they can hide in their basement and not talk to people, you're going to have depression like you couldn't believe.
Yeah.
And the pharmaceutical companies are going to love it.
Yes.
That's a whole other conversation.
Right. Well, we'll have to get you back on the show to do that. One of the things that we love to do, especially towards the end of the show, is called One Hot Minute. Now, what One Hot Minute is that I want you to think about whether it's a piece of advice, it could be from a mentor, it could be from a dad, or just even like your inner self that you got from like meditating, that if someone just listens to this 60-second clip and they're like, I needed that, what would that be? So you can take a second, let me know when you're ready.
I have a million of them. I really, if I were to level this up pretty simply, and a piece of advice for anybody watching this right now is every one of us is very, very influential. People come to me for influence, and I'm going to tell you everyone's influencing people right now. The question is to what?
Yeah.
And what do you want to influence people to do? So if human beings would accept how influential they are by their behaviors and what they're doing right now, that even the biggest introvert in the world is influencing people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Influence, like an overweight person influences people to eat.
Sure.
Drunk. I stopped drinking because I realized that I was influencing people to drink just by my behaviors. So if a human being would just accept you're freaking influential, even if you think you're not, you're running the charge of some version of influence right now. Is that the one you want? And there's my challenge, is not like some little meme to put up, is really just, I think I have 12 seconds left in my minute, is to really think about you're using 100% of your influence, but for what?
Yeah.
And is it the influence that you want to be sharing the way that you live? It's influencing people. Are you okay with that? And if you're not okay with that, do something different.
Wow. That was powerful. Thank you for sharing.
Never said it before. Sounds good.
Let's
hope that works. If it does, it'd be great.
That's a great one.
I have said it to myself, but I've never said it to others.
No, we got on camera. So as we wrap up, where can people find you?
So obviously the internet. There's a thing called the internet.
We like the internet.
The internet, all over social media.
Yeah.
You could find me. You could reach out. I mean, I could, with this community, I'm very happy just giving out contact. I mean, people could literally email me.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't do something like that. They can go to my personal is Michael Bernoff at gmail.com. Most people would never do this, but if you're a serious person and you like what you heard, email me, and I can, either myself or someone on the team can connect and share. Michael Bernoff, I'm sure spell that out, at gmail.com. Send me a message and you read my book, whatever. Average sucks, and don't be average.
Love that. And the very last thing is, if someone was on the fence about coming to a 4 Rooms event, what would you tell them?
Well, fences are rusty and tetanus is a painful shot.
Yeah, not
right.
fun.
So I don't think anybody's on the fence. I think people are on the fence in their life. If you're a person that is looking to up your level of play with the type of people you're around, you have to look at your life. Like if you went to your phone, here's the best way to put it. If you went to your phone right now and you texted 5 people you think are the influential people in your life, and you told them your big plans for your life, and they text you back, sounds great, awesome, that's cool, because that's what most people do. Then you need to come to 4 rooms, because in this room, if you told someone your big plans, they'd say, sound great, how can I help? And this is a group of people that want to help each other grow, not a group of people that want to tell you how great they are. So if you need more people helping you, supporting you, that are already doing it, that's great. So get off the fence and challenge you. Look at your phone. I mean, think about who do you know, and are they supporting you at the level you need? And if you already got great support and you already got 10,000 rooms, don't come. But if you know for a fact you could use high quality information, high quality people, get out to the event. I don't get paid a penny saying this. I just know I need this for my life.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you for coming on.
It's been great. It's been great. Appreciate it.
Have you again.
Got the handshake.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Amazing.
As we wrap up today's episode, we have something special just for you. If you've been inspired by what we've explored today and you're ready to take your learning to the next level, then our 4 Rooms Mastermind live event is the perfect next step. And because you're a part of our podcast family, we're offering an exclusive 10% discount on your registration when you apply and are accepted. This is your chance. It's your chance to build relationships with other ambitious entrepreneurs like yourself, to dive deeper into the 4 rooms of entrepreneurship, and to connect with experts who can truly help accelerate your growth. Simply follow the event link in the description of this episode and use the promo code 4rooms10. That's FOURROOMS10 on your application to claim this opportunity. This offer is subject to application approval and it's limited, so don't wait too long to make your decision. Join us and transform your journey with the insights and networking that only our live events can offer. Thank you for tuning in today. We look forward to seeing you at the event and, of course, right back here next time on the 4 Rooms podcast. Until then, keep balancing and keep growing.
Thank you.